but really struggling. So tomorrow I am going to be trying a new thing that I haven't done at school. It's an icebreaker. It's always good to know people, and talking about getting to know people. There was just this one post about somebody who was in this like kind of like therapy group kind of um, group. All tongue tied today. So, anyways, they were responding that, oh my gosh, I can't believe these kind of people are in this group, because it's supposed to be a group of compassionate people. And everybody has certain views from their own perspective on who they are and what's been done wrong against them. And, there are some good people. There's sometimes just poor communication or expectations that don't match up with the other person. Not everybody is available to be emotionally there for you, or they have different definitions. You might think that you're just like casual friends instead of deep friends. So we're just going to go ahead and open up the conversations for you guys. Got lots of people joining, and I love seeing that. How was everybody's weekend? Mine, I did one load of dishes. I am not feeling right, but I do want to talk about that, because sometimes we think we're doing the right thing and it's not matching up with our person. I'm getting ready to do a video about dismissive avoidance. A lot of times that gets confused or is added on like a comorbidity to narcissism. And, sometimes people are like, look, I just need time to myself. And it's like, you are not even talking to me. So we have to understand our different attachment styles and, narcissism is crazy. We are in a narcissistic society. It's on the rise. There's also a lot of enabling of things that we're just avoiding, like the truth of the situation. So we got more people. Thank you for the love. Feel free to share this live or interact. We can talk about whatever you guys would like to talk about. But, when we're in a relationship with somebody who isn't emotionally available, it can, cause a change of roles to where we're in more of a like parenting type of situation. We're not there to save the person. We can help people through rough times if they want it. They have to want it, but relationships are really difficult. And I see people chasing a quick fix, a little dopamine, a lot of people soothing their pains. There's a lot of people that are hurting. And, we should go through life building people up. And there's so many one-sided relationships that it's really sad. And, we have to have that balance where we're not chasing after people, because another person had said that his partner was saying that you're never going to change. Hi, Chaco. And you're always going to be the same. You are too soft, and you just don't get it. So this is the thing. Oh my gosh. TikTok news alert. North Korea. Well, dang it. TikTok live update. That is not going to happen. And if it does, let me just get an hour in. So talking about narcissism, we got TikTok news alert, fraud account saying that there's going to be an attack tonight, but there's not. I already fact checked some of his lies, her lies. I don't know what you are. So the person was saying their truth. You are too soft. You are too easy. You are too like accommodating. So sometimes when we're empathic, I see people bragging, like, I'm a super empath. And that's great that you're willing to help people, but there are pros and cons to everything. So when you are super empathic, unless you are like a missionary or, a volunteer at a hospital, if you're in a relationship, people a lot of times take advantage of it. So I responded to that person, because the person's like, I'm trying to work it out with my person, but that I just keep going back to that. I am so hurt by that comment. And sometimes truths aren't meant to be hurtful, but sometimes we connect with that. And maybe we take offense, like, I'm a nice person. Why are you saying I'm not perfect, or what I'm giving to the world is not good. So I had mentioned, when I'm teaching, I've had a lot of difficulties in the beginning with children where I'm like, all right, so why are these kids so mean to me? And the kids will tell you it's because you're too nice. Does that make sense? I mean, if you logically think about it, you're too nice. You're too nice. That's why I'm treated like shit. And they walked all over me, and I had to change different things. And that's the boundaries. That's the consistency. That's the communication of expectations. And so that person was hurt by it instead of taking the lesson from it. So if you've dealt with the narcissist, there's a lesson in it. We have been hurt. So I don't want to discount that, but there is a lesson in it, how not to get hurt anymore. And as a teacher, I see how kids react, and the narcissist has the emotional state of a child. And she was saying that basically I need rules to follow. And she'll probably still try to break it just like a kid will. But you have to maintain, and it's exhausting. That's why it's better to be with somebody who is emotionally helpful or healthy. But just take that to heart when we're really proud of being nice and kind, and you can still do that, but you have to do it with boundaries and being direct. If you deal with a narcissist, there's also a difference between male and female, how they process things. Men are more logical, women are more emotional in general. But thank you for liking the live. Feel free to show me some love. Open up the conversation to whatever you guys would like to talk about. And I'll stay on for a little bit. But Chaco, how's your day going? We got Michael and Bruce, lots of people. So Melissa is here. Yeah, tomorrow is our first full week of school. And I don't know about where you guys are. Thank you for the follow. I'm trying to get to 10,000. I would love to just retire and spend all day talking to you guys. But we had a really good discussion going on yesterday. I love it when I have repeat people coming back in, kind of carry on the conversation. But being empathic or super nice can be like a playground for narcissists, and they see naivety as an opportunity. And there's just things in our life that we might not have experienced, and it's kind of mind-blowing when you go through the narcissistic abuse, like what just happened. And we don't know how to deal with it sometimes, and we overcompensate and overtry. So they're just getting more and more of what they want. And, the narcissists, they just go through people like water. And Scott and Peyton, MK is here. Michael Kors, good to have you here. Or is that Mary Kate? Turtle says, well, ruffle my hair and call you what, Frankie? Is that what it said? And Frankie. Okay, Frankie. How you doing? Good to have you here, Turtle. We've got lots of different people joining in. But there are some relationships that can be saved when we start having two-way empathy. Also, if somebody's not going to give you two-way empathy, that they don't want to understand you and they're not trying. And a lot of times when you are in love with somebody, it's a little bit more natural. You want to kind of help. So let me see. Is it Kang? You probably shouldn't be giving advice. Why is that? Why is that? I don't know. There's, the advice that I give, it's up to you if you want to take it. I have learned a lot over the years. I am 54 years old. I am certified to teach psychology. I also do my own research. And, there is wisdom in the elderly. Looking back, DJ, thank you so much for the compliment. But looking back, there's a lot of advice I wish I took. So you guys can discount whatever I say. That's up to you. But hindsight's 2020, and I'm not forcing you to take my advice. You can take it with a grain of salt, but I do have a lot of good advice, and there's a lot of things that factor in, whether it's mental illness, whether it's, religion, spiritual things. There are ways to heal. And DJ, you still modeling? Through TikTok. I used to model. Roger says, Trump or Harris? I'm going to let you guys decide. I have my own preference, but I think it's important for you guys to decide who you would vote for. It doesn't really matter who I would vote for. It matters what you feel is the right person. And Felix, am I alone? What do you mean? Turtle says you have very good down to earth advice. And yeah, if you guys listen to what I have to say, it is down to earth. It is true. And I appreciate that because there's so much research I've done. And I even have, like I talked about Dr. Ramani. She is the top narcissistic abuse specialist, expert on this stuff. But there's certain things that I worry about what she says. It's not necessarily the best advice, such as forgiveness. Forgiveness is for ourselves, and it opens up taking away like the anger. And, if you hold on to that, it doesn't mean you have to hang out with the person, but holding on to that anger, not forgiving. Calibri, hey, K-Flyer, you say forgiveness was discussed this afternoon in our men's group. Perfect timing. The one who nonchalantly mentioned that forgiveness to a narc will help to move on. I differ with his statement. I said you ought to forgive yourself for having involved with the narcissist. It is you that need to forgive and not the narc. I stood by my statement. Hold on. Forgive yourself. I can understand forgiving yourself. It is you that you need to forgive. Oh, forgiving ourselves and not forgiving the narc. That's the thing, though. We really do. You can disagree with me. I get what you're saying. And I'm not Keely. Somebody asked me that before. I don't know who she is. Who is Keely? I'm Cynthia. So this is a thing. There's still anger. There's still anger. Calibri says the one hosting the group, I suspect, is a narc. What made you what were the red flags that you saw? Sometimes, you can see across YouTube, there's some fascinating narcissists that are either self-proclaimed or diagnosed, and they know what's up. They have some great information, but sometimes there's red flags too. So let me catch up. Who is Keely? And let me catch up. Thank you for the compliment, Turtle, on the good advice. Turtle says, anger to me is a self-serving emergency. And it is, but it's part of the grief process too. So we have to go through the anger. Yeah, anger, you get angry and you deal with the situation. You're right. It is a self-serving emergency. Something's wrong. I don't like it. And we have to decide which way we go with it. But after a while, though, as far as it being self-serving, I don't want to be an angry person the rest of my life. So it is self-serving. Same with depression. Maybe your body needs to process and work through things. Or maybe you need a little bit more sleep, a little bit easier on your body because it's stressful. But you don't want to hold on to that. Anger eats you up inside. I promise you, anger eats you up inside. Kalibi says he loves to control. He knows how to triangulate and diminish. Forgiveness to a narc is radical acceptance. They are what they are. They have no capacity to change. There is a smidge. But most likely not. Most likely not. And, I know some of you guys are secular, some of you guys are religious, but I think there's something to the spiritual aspect of it, that, and then also like society. So I know some people want to get revenge on the narcissist, which only fuels the fire and can be detrimental to yourself. It's like you know, it's kind of like something is missing and they're trying to get it, and to make a bigger hole in their life will only make them hurt people more. So thank you very much, Mark, for the compliment. I'm trying to grow it extra extra long, so I appreciate that. So Kalibu says narcs carry dark souls, and I want to open this up to you guys. This is like a serious thing. I did a video, and we also kind of did this in chat. What do you guys think about like demons, the spiritual world? Because I do think there's some crazy stuff out there kind of overtaking. And Mark, thank you so much. And thank you, Dubs. But and thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. What is your name? La Bradford. Kalibi says they manifest demonic, fiery black eyes and morphed faces. I've seen that morphed face. I've shared that before, where this guy, he said he was a sorcerer or whatever. And he was telling me, I was waiting for my friend. And so him and I, she lived with him. She was helping him. He had a girlfriend, but he was like this. They had like altars in the bedroom and kind of like the witchcraft kind of stuff. And he was saying, like, look in my eyes, I can shape shift. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he kind of had like a werewolf kind of look. It was the weirdest thing. So I'm kind of like, did my mind like think it was supposed to see something, so it created something? But I'm not like a werewolf vampire type girl. I don't think about those things. And how did I see that? It was really weird. And it's not like it was like a legit animal in front of me, but almost like a hologram, if that makes any sense. But have you guys ever seen a morphed face? And I know there are the black eyes of the narcissist. I haven't really seen that, but I know, like, people, when they talk about it, they are terrified. I know when people get anxious, there are different adrenaline rushes that can cause that too. But there are people that space out. I've been pretty lucky to where I don't really deal with the super angry people. Kalibi says, when you experience that, would you trust him or her again? It was weird. I wasn't like friends with him. It's kind of like acquaintances. I'd never date him, that's for sure. And he didn't do anything evil with it. But I don't know what kind of, rituals and all that kind of. So it was just basically, like I said hi to him, picked up my friend, and we left. Or he would go out, and her and I would just hang out at the apartment. I didn't really hang out with him, but yeah, it's definitely not somebody that I would be drawn to. He also did stuff with like astral projection, which, I don't know. There's some, I don't know. Gotta be careful what you play with, because, I talked before about a Ouija board. Don't do those. Don't do those. There's some weird stuff going on. I also feel that I've been in like haunted houses before. And it's just like when you talk about narcissism, if somebody hasn't experienced it, they're like, what are you talking about? Like, just leave. They just don't get it. But I'd like to hear your experiences with the paranormal, because I think there's something to it, because I've experienced it. And, I've been through 4 psychological evaluations. I don't have anything going on. And, like the Ouija board, it was weird. Don't do them. Don't do them. I'm telling you. But I felt this like tingle, and the lady was doing it herself. And it was my friend's mom, who I had never met before. And she was kind of like stroking my ego. And I get this chill, and I didn't like move or anything. But as soon as I got that chill, she spells out, see, I can touch you, I can feel you. And it was weird. Like, and it knew secrets about me. And so we have glasses look great on you from Pennsylvania. Thank you. These are my favorite. I had 2 pairs of these, but I tripped over my dog and didn't want to fall on her, so the other pair broke. But thank you so much. You're always so sweet. And Aaron, thank you for or is it Earl? Earl, thank you for the follow. Got lots of people joining in, and I appreciate that, all the way from Pennsylvania. Kalibi says, as far as trust and things, Got to be careful. It's a red flag. It's a red flag. Playing with fire. And it was just something that I had seen. I have no idea. Sometimes we try to fill in blanks, whether, my degree's in criminal justice. I'm also certified to teach psychology and other things. But when we think about the past, narcissists will do this. Even, healthy people, we kind of fill in the blanks sometimes, or it's from our perspective, or it's logical that that would happen, to where in hindsight, the truth it's kind of like that telephone thing where you tell a story and it can be true, but you can kind of alter it, where I could say, I saw 180-pound man. Now all of a sudden I'm like, no, he was probably 200 and then 250. And you just keep adding on. And it turns out it was a 600-pound guy, where it's like, oh, I just remember it was a big guy. And sometimes in your mind, it gets bigger and bigger. But Cleve says, and narcs practice witchcraft. I recently bought a Saint Benedict medal. And from my prayers, I feel somewhat confident going about my errands. That's good. And is that Catholic, the Saint Benedict medal? But yeah, it's about control. We got to think narcissists love to control. And what better way is through witchcraft or thinking you're the like the god of your own life. Cleve says Saint Benedict is a Catholic saint who usually deters witches. Interesting. And I'm confused on the Taylor Swift thing. Did Taylor Swift self-proclaim herself to be a witch? I know, was that like an actual statement, or was it kind of like a character? And Tom says, you're beautiful, sweetheart. Thank you. And I'm happy now that you said that. So you're sweet. Cleve says, deters witches and exorcism. I went to a deliverance and I talked about that, where, you see things and, there's a lot of pain in there. And I think there's something to it. And I want to research it more, to where you guys can help me with your experiences. And, I take things, I guess, like when I went through, those certain hauntings or whatever, or the Ouija board, the things that you see, that's how it brought me closer to God, because I felt you could see the evil, and there's something to it. And it was like mind blowing, but I had like creepy feelings for a long time and all these kind of things. I don't know. So Waylon, thank you so much. Waylon, that's my grandson's name. Nice to have you here. But, when people want to control others, that's when it's a red flag. Kalibi says, I remember during my early years in this building, I caught one of their minions enter my place late at night. When I noticed him, he walked away. And is that a person you're talking about? A person minion? So yeah, if you notice how he says he walked away, a lot of times when people are up to something, they walk away. And that's why a lot of times the narcissist will ghost you, because they are to something. Waylon, thank you so much for the follow. Because there's times where you're like, what did I do wrong? Why aren't they talking to me? And a lot of times it's nothing that you did. It's just that they're up to something shady. And that's why when you try to talk to them, they don't want to talk. It's kind of like a verbal ghosting, where they're just checking out because they don't want to take that accountability. Kalibi says, yes, one of the people who they controlled. A couple of years ago, this person passed on. Yeah. So yeah. So when you say they entered your place late at night, you're talking about your home. That's scary. I had somebody do that to me. And Heavenly says, hi, the pink glasses are new. Actually, I've had these. I have so many pairs that kind of filter through them, but these were in the bedroom. So I brought them out today. So I had 2 pairs. That's a color that when I tripped over my dog, I broke those. So luckily I had 2 pairs. These are one of my favorite colors. So, Yeah, you know, like with the narcissist, like they don't want to wait for things. They don't want to invest in things. And they're in the, like the quick and now. They don't like getting bored. When they're bored, they will seek out things. Kalibi says, yes, my place, my condo. Since then, I started to feel weird whenever these people approach me. And it's weird how we have energetic feelings. You can feel the evil sometimes. Have you guys ever experienced feeling the evil? Our bodies do have some instinctual things to it. But over time, we set up these different rules and we just kind of follow and go along with life. And also, if you've been sheltered, hello, that you kind of lose the instinct, but there is still instincts within us. Have you guys ever had like the hair stand up on your arms or the back of your neck? Where is that coming from? Where there are energy exchanges. And Heavenly says, I got Kool-Aid and Jello and a ride on the four-wheeler. So it sounds like you had a good day today. What color Kool-Aid? I like Jello jigglers. You can make them yourself, just don't add as much water. Kleber says it happened to you when you dream freeze and you can, sleep paralysis. Yes, I had that. And that was so scary. We're going to talk about sleep paralysis. So has it happened to you when you dream freeze and you cannot move and feel that you were being elevated? So I did not feel that I was being elevated, but I felt like something's trying to pull my soul out. So I had a dance studio, tanning salon, and gift shop. And there was a downstairs, kind of creepy downstairs, but it was connected. So it's got the basement, and you can go up these stairs that go under the road to the other side. On the other side of the road is like, it was a bakery. It was part of the Underground Railroad. I have no idea if anybody died there, but maybe it was like the energy. So anyways, I had the basement, the storefront that had like a room and two up top apartments. So I'm redoing. There was a lady, I was letting her finish her lease and I was going to take it over. And then a doctor's office that I was changing into a apartment. So I don't know if people died in the doctor's office, but I slept on the main floor in a office kind of thing that I made up. So while I'm redoing the apartment, so you're the only one. So hold on, what do you mean? Tropical punch. I love that. So I'm sleeping and I feel like I cannot move. I feel this dark, scary entity with like kind of like Darth Vader kind of roby kind of stuff. Not the mask, but like just dark. And it felt evil. It felt like it was trying to take my soul. And you guys know me. I like to know everything. So I'm like, I wonder what's on the other side. And I'm like, no. I'm not even going to try that. So I'm trying to form in my mind, Jesus, come to me, because I was that scared. And it was so hard to even get my thought together to even think it. It's like you kind of have these like, the sentence, but you're like, please just come together. And I was probably quiet, but I felt like I was screaming. And it was so hard to get that thought together. It was so scary. And I talked about like what happened in the upstairs. There was no windows, but I had it looked like Venetian blinds. And they like pop open, a super bright light. And as I'm trying to, because it woke me up and I'm trying to focus, all of a sudden it turns off. There's no windows in that room. So yeah, the sleep paralysis, they can explain it away and all that stuff. But, they will also talk about like shadow people and a lot of scary things out there. And so many people experience it. So Kalibi, have you dealt with that? It's called sleep paralysis. And thank you, Rev Darren, thank you so much. Number one gifter. Congratulations on your badge. I appreciate that. What do you mean you're the only one? The only one who likes Kool-Aid? No, there's people popping in and out. So thank you so much, Rev, for the gift. Calibri says, and you guys can feel free to share your stories, but Calibri says, I think that it was witchcraft being done to us. Twice it happened during my lifetime. First, when I used to live in New York, my train station stops over an old cemetery. The second time here, a couple years back. During my sleep paralysis, I couldn't move, and I actually saw the ceiling right on my face. And you hear about people too that do experience that, where they're levitating over themselves. That guy that I was talking about, my little werewolf, he was into that astral projection. And I don't know if he was able to do that, but I wouldn't doubt it if it could happen. I would not, and I wouldn't risk it. I would not risk taking the soul out of the body. So it's not worth trying. It is not worth even trying because, something goes wrong or you can't get back and you're basically dead, floating that spirit above you. But what brought you back? What brought you back? And that's why I am certified as a hypnotist, but I haven't practiced it. I've learned it. I don't want it getting to the point where and I think, for me, I would control it, but it's also opening things up. And that's what scares me, is opening things up that shouldn't be opened. So I'd like to know what your thoughts are. I thought, I would do it for good. There's not everybody out there that does hypnotism for good. I'm really torn. I'd love to do it because I think there are some benefits, but, we have to think about the full realm of it. Are there negatives to it? And I don't want to harm anybody. So Adam says, hey, beautiful, what you after? I am after some sleep in a little bit. So what do you mean, what am I after? As far as what I want in life? Just happiness. So Cleby says, last Christmas, I was half asleep and experienced a soul move towards my bedside. I could actually see her face and loose dress she was wearing. She moved really fast. And this is what I'm confused on. I'm not saying I don't believe you. But this is a part I don't understand. So when people see, like a dead person, they're like, it was my grandfather and he had the same blue suit that he was buried in and this and that. And I don't understand where the clothes come from. I don't know if it's like some like burn holograph thing, or there are energies in clothing that I want to study a little bit more. With linen. Linen's supposed to, there's energy in the clothing that you wear. And we'll have to get into that because that's some interesting stuff. But, does it have something to do with the energy of the clothes attached? But I don't know. Also, I don't know if I wouldn't doubt it if there's different energies. There's got to be different energies on colors, but the color of her being is like sepia. Okay, kind of like that gray brown and kind of a light shade of brown. Exactly. I can see the sepia. The sepia makes sense to me. I don't understand the clothing part. There may be something, like I said, with the energies, but hey, Mimi, how you feeling? How those ears doing? Adam is here and Adam says, you just want to talk. I'm doing a live. So, what do you want to talk about? We can talk. Mimi says, I'm tired, not sleepy, tired, but I'm tired. Are you going to school tomorrow? I am. And I'm exhausted today. I don't wake up till 4 p.m. Kalibi says, but I could tell that she was translucent. The translucent, I understand too. Did she have a message for you? What do you guys feel about that? Mimi says, yes, don't want to. Aw, I know. I get it. We're still doing our icebreakers. So this week will be nice. Won't be too hard. Just kind of like fun time getting to know each other. So hopefully you're going to tell me what icebreakers your teachers do, so I can copy. I wonder, what? So it was during Christmas, and it was a female. Do you know who she was? Yes, I don't want to. I know. I get it. Responsibilities, but it'll be good for you. It'll be good for you. I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better. Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to just sit here? He doesn't want me to talk at him. Did I get in trouble? You are welcome to join in. And you want me to whistle? I have a harmonica. I can play my harmonica. Kalibi says, I have a feeling, just so you guys know, I have like TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube open. Mimi says, I don't know what to do anymore. You don't know what to do anymore about what? About school? Is it getting overwhelming, or what do you mean by that? I'll help you through it. Kalibi says, I have a feeling that she was my oldest sister who first visited me because I indicated that I will be taking over her 2 sons as guardian. And did you have a certain feeling? Was it like a comfort or a thankful or an anger? Did you feel any sort of way? I wish I knew. I can only tell the experiences that I've had. And, you got to take, and I'm believing you, but I'm just saying, I had my TikTok alert earlier, breaking news alert, which was all a lie. So you got to be careful what people say. And yeah, I called you up. Kalibi says, I heard myself scream when she approached me. So you were scared of it. I know I had it once where I was in a really bad car accident. And so almost in a second car accident before I even got home, and my back froze up. So I was having a really hard time. I had to use my jeans to like walk my legs. I had to go to the bathroom. It took me like 20 minutes, go like 25 feet. And I passed out, hit my head. And I remember screaming, I don't like this, because I was sprawled out. It looked like I committed. And I'm like, my mom does not need to come home to this. And my sister was in the kitchen like 20 feet away. And she's like, I didn't hear you. So it's weird how things like that happen, where maybe you did scream, maybe you didn't. But I believe you did, But for me, it's weird. It's like, was like my spirit floating and then came back. So I was screaming then. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that's the truth, but totally not. Nolan, I have a problem in my body. What's going on? Cynthia, I have something to tell you. What's going on with you? Totally not Nolan. And look at that. Some comments in the live were filtered to protect the community's experience. Be nice, guys. Just be nice. Yeah, totally. Please tell me what is going on in your body. I know you just had a lot going on. Mimi, I'd love to hear. And Adam, what would you like to say? I'll listen to you. So please tell me. And so Kalibi says, and my cat during that week was acting weird, crying and looking at the upper walls and ceiling. You hear that a lot. My cat did that several times. How long of a period of time did they do that for? You'll hear like in nursing homes or even hospitals that people will reach up to like a certain, I don't know if it's like the north side or whatever side it is, but they'll do it. They'll be in completely different rooms. And there's something too, there are animals. They talk about it a lot, where the cat will go into a certain room right before somebody passes. So maybe they can sense certain things. There's a lot of energy that, like right now, you don't see my voice. You don't see the vibrations. You don't see the vibrations of the light that's coming through to you. Kalibi says, maybe 3 or 4 times during the week before I saw her ghost. Did it frighten you? And if you're able to share, was it a violent death, or was it just an unexpected one, or one that you guys saw coming? Sometimes too, you wonder, I don't know enough about it. Do people, she died of breast cancer. Okay. So it's probably, you saw it coming. Yeah, that's hard. Mama Bear might have been out there. Like, yeah, I'd like to know what you guys believe. Adam says, do you ever pay attention to anyone else? Yes, I do. I'm paying attention to all these people. Y'all about you, ain't you? That is. And what makes you say that? I am taking conversations from the entire world. I'm not talking about myself. I will add in my experiences, but I have like over 2,000 videos helping people for free. So I wouldn't say that's all about me, but you can take it or leave it. And the only reason I'm combing my hair is because they have like all those get ready with me videos, and I'm just sitting here. But poor pretty girl, you're so silly. Adam, do you have a problem with me? And if so, why are you here? Thank you. Join my team. Go ahead, Hellman. Sent a heart. Thank you for that. And you became, what is this one? You became the number 8th member on the team. Thank you so much. Hellhammer. I read it wrong. I must be craving Hellman. I know. I just saw that Hellhammer. I must be craving a sandwich. Sorry. at least I did the good mayonnaise. Or are you a Duke lover? So Hellhammer. Sorry about that. So user says, when was the last time somebody took you away from the city lights in smog and just looked at the bright stars? Luckily, I just moved out to a city on the lake where I can enjoy that now. But look at my comment at the top. Hold on. I just see, Cynthia, I have something to tell you. Oh, how have I been? Mimi's asking, 1 second. I don't see your comment. Please retype it. All I said is I have something to tell you. I'm still struggling. I was in the hospital about a week ago, less than a week ago, I think. And no, exactly a week ago. Still struggling. I woke up at 4 p.m., but I don't feel sick. So that's good. I have a follow-up appointment September 11th. Was there any message in that? Sometimes people feel, so you said you were taking over her 2 sons. Do you think it was like a thank you, or, I don't know. Hi from Tennessee. I used to live in Tennessee. I used to teach in Tennessee too. So Donald, welcome to the channel. Good to have you here. And yep, totally. Please retype it. I am concerned about what you wanted to share. I don't see it though. And I gotta be careful scrolling up too, because sometimes I click the wrong things. Like just now, I get worried I'm gonna click you guys out. So was that the only time that you saw her, Calibri? You said that? I said that. You said what? I don't see your, you're gonna have to retype it. Says, look at my comment at the, oh, wait. No, that was user. You're gonna have to retype it. I don't see it. I'd like to answer it, but I don't see it. So, the avoidance and all those kind of things, if you think about, it gets uncomfortable when we have to, take accountability or be vulnerable, admit that we made mistakes. And sometimes too, in a healthy relationship, we might not necessarily see that we were in the wrong. But we have to listen to the other person and have that empathy for what's going on with them. And in toxic relationships, they get like angry about things. So let's say I made you a really nice meal and I didn't know you were allergic to something. And in a healthy relationship, you apologize and you make, you keep it on your mind. Like, I'm going to care about you. I'm not going to make that again. We also have to give people grace. Sometimes people do forget things. But like a narcissist, they get so angry and they don't want to listen. And there are times that they will purposely try to harm you. They will purposely add things or, like try to control your weight Um, like mine thought I was too thin. So he was like adding stuff in my food and getting me stuff I didn't want to eat because it was higher in calories, little things like that. Um, so where from in Tennessee? Murfreesboro, Antioch, and Laverne. What about you? So that's the only time she visited. And so you screamed, but did you have a comfort afterwards or were you still uncomfortable after that? New Orleans. Is that Big Jake? Oh, hello. We had a couple New Orleanders, but there's a lot of comorbidities and things too. From Florida, Rodney is here. Nice to have you. And totally, thank you for liking the live. I would love to know what you're talking about, though. I don't see it. Kalibi says, question, now that I am aware that my last partner, I suspect is a narc, he died last year, and his ashes will be situated next to his parents. I have forgiven him. Would you visit him in the mausoleum? Um, you know, he is gone. Okay. He is gone. And, what would your purpose be? If you can tell me what your purpose is, I will continue on. I'd like to answer that, but I'd like to have an unsolicited response from you. Because I do want to answer that. Just to make exactly. And that's what I was going to say. Like sometimes when we do that, it's for one thing, it's not going to make a difference. Talking for his sake, he's gone. But for you, it kind of grounds you, kind of connects you with the thought of him or something tangible because we're still in the physical realm. So to make closure, yeah, that would be fine. I don't see anything wrong with that. There's times that, they talk about if you're struggling with something, write it down on a piece of paper and throw it out. So you going there to talk to him, I don't see anything wrong with that, to where, you could say you pissed me off or why'd you do that? Or I still love you or whatever you're feeling. That's getting your feelings out. And that's part of the healing. Because maybe during the relationship, your feelings weren't acknowledged. So since there's still not enough closure, and also our mind would process that a little bit more, where you could say whatever you want and he's not going to speak back to you. So it can get those feelings out. So you say, even though I've had negative experiences in our relationship, and I've also had positive, happy ones. Yeah. And the thing is, I think there's something to the spiritual realm, temptations, all these kind of things. I think, I think there's demonic entities that take people over. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're all bad, but just like, some mold in my food, it's still going to be toxic to me. So even though there's some good and some bad, it's detrimental. So I my exes are still alive, but maybe one day I'd do the same. I don't see anything wrong with that. That's I don't see anything wrong with that. I think it's a healthy thing. Maybe we need to cry it out, or maybe we need to say, I'm angry. So thank you for the follow. Oh, is it Dance Machine? I love that. I want to do some TikTok dances. So let me scroll up. Florida, and oops, I just missed it. Ay. Who is that little baby in the background? That is my baby girl, who's all grown up. That's my daughter. And when she was coming out the wrong way. She was coming out this way. She kept like pushing on my cervix. Actually broke my tailbone. First thing out was her arm. Had to get cut twice, all these kind of things. But so her head was more this way. And she just has like the perfect round head in her baby pictures. So yeah, she came out perfect for pictures. Perfect in general. But when I pass, my ashes will be put in the wall with my parents. There you go. That's one that I'm a burn victim. We just cremated my dad. I have a hard time with that. But yeah, it's like it's just our physical body. But I am a burn victim. Don't want to go through that again, even if I'm dead. But not important. Totally, yes, it is important. Type it again. Oh, it's something you want to tell me. Uh-oh, what did Jake say to you? Is he private messaging you or something? Oh, I thought totally said that. It is important, Jake. Jake, it is important. Maybe not to you, but it is to me, and it is to totally. Um, yeah, we gotta be, so Big Jake says, don't know you, never said anything directly to you. And that's the thing, that's what this channel is about. Maybe this is not the channel for you. This is where we like help each other and validate each other. And, you know, life is difficult as it is. It's hard to find good friends or people who support you, or we had a crappy family or a recent breakup. And this is kind of like a safe haven. And that's what I want. I want that for you too, Big Jake. If you need something to talk about or some guidance or just to vent. But she didn't say anything to you. She was talking to me, and I do care. So you say, oh, I never ask questions about personal property or pictures in the background. And yeah, I some people, and that's the thing too, is some people feel certain things are okay and other things aren't. So I can respect that, but not polite to ask about kids' personal pictures and people's houses. I get it. I get it. I'm pretty easygoing though, but I get where you're coming from. I was buying a house with my ex, and we were going through the house, and I see this picture and like a baby crib and all that stuff, a beautiful baby. And I'm like, oh, who's the kid? And the kid passed away. There's no way I knew that. It was like a 2-year-old. And so you just assume this little 2-year-old's going to live to at least 35 to 70. And the baby passed away. And he's like, it was my granddaughter, and she passed away in my arms. And I was like, oh, I felt so bad about that. But I understand, from my experiences, if somebody doesn't mean anything bad by it, I get it. But I get what you're saying. But I'm not offended by her question, But I get where you're coming from. And Polly is here. That's why narcs are doomed. And that karma does go around, and we got to be careful too, like on our kind of things too, with the revenge. If you guys are seeking revenge, that karma will come back to you too. Bright says, one of my lady friends who is married wants to talk less to me, much because of her jealous husband. Bright Angel, are you guys are you a female? Or are you male? So yeah, Big Jake, I understand what you're saying, but totally not Nolan. Please tell me. Or you can wait till later if you're more comfortable with that. Male. Okay, I kind of picked up you were male. Yeah. So, when you get married, she's supposed to like honor her husband. Do you ever hang out with the husband and her, or is it more like just you and her? Is he left out of things? Because that's the hard part. There are jealousies and, temptations. So he's not social. And so what has she decided? That's a hard part, because I'm single, but man, I got some good friends. I got some good guy friends, and that would be difficult, because they're not sexual relationships with the friends. There are times that you can be friends, but no problems, no worries. And then since he's not social, so how I would handle it, like I would hope if I had a husband, I'm like, these are my best friends. They've been my best friend. What, were you guys friends before they got married? That makes a difference too. Were you friends before? She wants to save her marriage, so it would be the only thing. Yeah, sometimes it's an issue, and that's the hard part. There are times that, that's her support. That's her um, safety net, her home, her supporter. And it's hard. Do we let people go? And sometimes we have to think, is this what's best for them? And is she happy in her marriage? Been married for 30 years now to my queen, Big Jake. That is fantastic. Congratulations to that. And Yuza says you're gorgeous, and I would love to have you as my friend. Good friend. Well, keep getting to know me. So I do want to eventually. Thank you, Adam, for the follow. But eventually, I do want to go on the road and meet some of you guys. Our friendship is innocent and pure. Marry an older person? Yeah, because I have, and that's the thing, they can have male-female relationships. Now, there are some that wanted to date me, but they've accepted I'm not going to date them. There are some I don't know if they really wanted to date me. Some of them were like neighbors and we stayed friends, things like that. But with nothing going on and no temptations and things like that, there are times you're not tempted by the other sex. So there are times, or there's boundaries put up. But yeah, he's got like some self-esteem issues. Maybe something's happened in the past, or maybe he just doesn't even want to deal with having that obstacle. And that's going to have to be her choice. That can affect her life pretty detrimentally. And that's why I'm scared about getting married. Is like, I don't know if I want to give up my male friends. I think, it'd be nice if, you could kind of invite them to like, a barbecue and have your husband there and be friends. And do you have a girlfriend? Sometimes when you're single, that makes it a little more scary for the husband too. I'm not saying just go get a girlfriend, but marry an older man or woman. Perhaps personal preference or personal choice is all that matters. And Bright Angel, thank you for the follow. My friend is his second wife. How long have they been married? Bright Angel says, yeah, his first wife cheated on him. Yeah, so he's going to have some trauma. Maybe they've worked something out. Like, this is how it's going to work. I need this little extra boost. And how often do you talk to her? How often do you talk to her? Kalibi says, I just saw a group picture yesterday on Facebook. Was that guy next to you your boyfriend? I think he's cute. That's my adopted cousin. That's my adopted cousin. Yes. So, yeah, I know. He's a good guy. He reminds me of my ex. As far as personality and everything, it's weird. But he's a lot younger than me. So, I think he's cute. I do too. We're not biological, so I can say that. I got to delete this. I'm on Facebook right now. His non-biological sister was on. I gotta watch it. And he's tall too. Did you see that? Bright says a lot more by text, less on the phone. She probably doesn't tell him we talk. And that's where the problems come in. There's deceit. And that's probably what he's afraid of, is she's not going to be honest. And that's exactly what's happening. So she's hiding because she's like, what's the big deal? He's not going to get it. I'm avoiding the problems, but that will blow up in their relationship. So she might think that she has a good heart, not to hurt his feelings because she's not doing anything wrong. But what she's doing wrong is not telling him. And she doesn't want to deal with the repercussions, possibly being controlled or fear of abandonment or his emotions. So Mimi says, it feels like I can't anymore. Are you depressed right now, Mimi? Is that what you mean? Because you can. You can. Has something happened? I don't know. Yeah, sometimes hormones or fear or some traumas or not seeing life where we want it to be, but it's just too much. So it's overwhelming, but it's not too much. It's not too much. We have to remember that. It feels like it's not, that it is too much. So, Mimi, this is something extremely important. If you are considering harming yourself, 988, I want you to call that number. I want you to call the number 988. Um, I, that's something not to take lightly. When we start getting way too depressed and start talking like it's just too much and I can't anymore, we have to be careful once we start talking those words that I don't want the action. A lot of times we speak a word and then the actions happen. So you are expressing that you're hurting or overwhelmed. Are there problems at home, or did you just break up with someone? Or let's see. Bright Angel says, I don't want to lose her as a friend, so I'm just going to have to go with whatever she wants. And that's the thing, it gets scary, you know. Sometimes we have to let people go. And that's where the true love comes in, you know, where we put aside our needs and, you know, if they come back, you know, that's going to be hard. Probably notice the frequency of talk, less messages, and very few calls. So Mimi says, I'm tired. And yeah, Bright Angel says, love is sacrifice. That's really true. And when you say you're tired, do you mean sleepy tired or tired of the emotions? You know, or tired of trying to fit in? What is it that you're tired of? Because I know you were struggling with some ear aches and things like that. Maybe you're starting to have a little anxiety about going back to work after not being in school for the last week. But I can't even talk to anyone. I really just want God to take me at this point. Well, He's not ready for you. He's not ready for you. I'm not ready for you to leave. You know, is it something at school or something at home? Because God put you on this earth to, you know, we go through trials and tribulations. And you know, they talk about it. I don't know what you guys believe, but if you play God and do that to yourself, you know, things are going on at home. And, you know, it's harder too, where so both. School will be okay. You can even talk to your teachers or talk to the counselor to talk to the teacher or your principal and say, look, I'm overwhelmed. I need some emotional or mental support. I need them to ease up on the homework. Or, you know, is there a way they can make accommodations? Because just say I am this much in need of help. So there's counselors at school or trauma people or even a behavioral specialist and things at home. Is it a parent or a sibling? And to feel that you can't talk to anyone. So I'm glad you're here. I know you've been checking in quite often over the past 2 weeks. And Bright Angel says, thank you for hearing out. And it's important, you know. Mimi says, it doesn't help or work. It's a parent, male or female. You know, sometimes parents have good intentions that go bad. They can be overwhelming, overbearing sometimes, or not understanding, or have a certain dream for you that might not fit what you want. And they might have stressors too, like finances, or maybe, you know, they're a single parent trying to help, or things that we don't even know about. But I don't know. Yeah, there's only so many things that we can do. We can't change somebody else. We can try to talk to our parents. Being a teenager, sometimes as teenagers, you're trying to, it's kind of like a change where they were able to tell you everything that you could or couldn't do. And now you're trying to go into adulthood. I just don't want to do it anymore. Would you be willing to call that number? Because I don't know how far down that feeling you're in. No. Well, you're one of my best friends. Don't you leave me. Do you have any like girlfriends you could talk to, some female friends, or do you think maybe you can stay after school and do what is it right now? Swimming, and what else? What else do the girls do right now? I don't know what else do they do? Tennis? Are there any sports or clubs after school that you can do so you're not as home as much? You don't talk to anyone. And it sounds like you have such a good heart. You have nothing at your school. Sometimes when we get down and out, we have to be proactive. I know certain times a fresh change is good. Like if I felt hated at my work, there's things I can do to change my job. But when you're at school, you're kind of at the mercy of your parents. And have you talked to your parents at all? Have you tried? Are they overbearing with what? Is it, do you like a boy that they don't like, or are they on you about school? What's causing the stress between you and them? And if it's too hard to talk about, I understand. But if you're open, there's a root cause of what's going on. And thank you for the light. Yeah, and when we don't talk to people, that's hard because sometimes when we can talk things through, you say my mom left, my dad is just too much, I feel trapped, he doesn't let me do anything. And yeah, it's hard when you're a girl. It's like, I just want to do these things. I am a good girl. I'm not going to go sleep around. I'm not going to do drugs. But they get overbearing. Do you think your dad has your best interest at, well, it's hard when he's going through trauma. How long ago did your mom leave? Because your dad is probably overcompensating. He's probably afraid of things. He's probably hurt. And when people are in a hurt state of mind, oh, since you were one? Oh, so yeah, he's had enough time to calm down about that. And that's hard. Like my parents were really, really strict. And does he let you go out till like 9 or 10 o'clock on weekends? Does he let you do anything? Yeah, since one. That yeah. Nope. So does he ever get violent with you? You're trapped. I get it. My parents were really strict, really, really strict. And sometimes we just got to wait it out, If he's physically abusive, we need to be safe. I don't know if he's just strict. Is he too strict and you don't like it? Or because that can be overwhelming, and it sounds like it's affecting you. And there's ways that we can talk to dad too, to hopefully help with that. So Kaliwi says, also today at our men's group, I mentioned about the prevalence of psychopaths in our society. 50% of all serious violent crimes are done by psychopaths. This came about when the narc host painted a glorious experience, opening up to people, making ourselves available. I told him, I'm not here to burst your bubble, but I just want to be realistic. I also mentioned about the serial murder in Toronto's gay community. There were 6 victims. most immigrant men and one white guy. Bruce MacArthur was the serial murderer. And so the men's group, is that just men, or is it a men's church group? And does he have a problem with the gay community? Is he, does that bother him at all? You're scared of him. Does he drink or do other things like that he shouldn't be doing? Yeah, sometimes when people go through a trauma, that they're very difficult. They're too wrapped up in their trauma to see what your trauma is. No, he's a Christian. I don't know. If you would like, I usually charge for this, but if you would like, I'll do a Zoom call with you and Dad. If you want to do that tomorrow night, do you think he would talk with us to kind of talk through things? So it can be a better support for you? Do you think he loves you? You don't. Is that in reply to, do you think he loves you? You don't think he loves you? So Kalibi says, older gay men's group that I belong to. Okay, so they wouldn't have a problem with that. But yeah. Bruce was into fetishes, and most men were found bound. He stashed the bodies in large planters. Oh, yeah. In large planters, since Bruce is a gardener. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, and opening, and, sometimes when people are talking, they don't, I'm saying he won't do a Zoom call. Anyways, I don't know if he loves me. I think you should ask him. We never know. Just say, Dad, I'm really struggling. There's a life coach who would like to talk with us. It's free. It's free if you want to do it. I usually charge. I won't charge you. You don't know if he loves you. And, hey, Ern, I can't talk to my dad. Well, if you can, would you like to have me email him? I can email him for you if you'd like. I mostly talk to women, sometimes my uncle. Have you talked to your uncle? Maybe you can ask your uncle to say, look, I love my dad, but this is what our problem is, and I don't know how to talk to him, and I'm getting really sad. I need to be able to talk to my dad. I think you should talk to your uncle. And your uncle is your dad's brother. So this gruesome event happened in Toronto back in 2017. There's been several attacks on the gay community. And, whether people agree with it or not, I don't understand. Just live and let live. It's not our place to judge. And this is the thing, was Bruce also gay or not? Some people are like homophobic and other people are just, like you said, into fetishes. And Cindy, hello, that is my name, Cynthia or Cindy. I spell it different, but nice to have you. You don't know anymore. Will you promise me? Oh, no, they're not related. It's the other side. Ah, dang it. Yeah, Mimi, maybe you can write him a note. You look nice. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. I know, but I don't want you getting so sad that that you feel like giving up. So remember, 988 can help you. Also want you to look in, things that we can do to help ourselves, like when we're lonely. Maybe these certain things. Try not to. I mean, what you're doing now is like helpful. But as far as like the doom scrolling, just looking at people TikToking or talking. Cindy says, love you, friends. Thank you so much. But sometimes the social media can cause depression. So here you're searching for some advice, a little validation, a new like community friendship. So this part is kind of helpful, but be careful like getting lost in the social media rabbit hole, because you post things and you get sad people didn't like your post, or you see a girl you might think is prettier than you and things work out for her, you're comparing yourself. Sometimes social media can cause a change in your brain. Also, I know you probably haven't been sleeping as well. Try to keep on a normal schedule. And it is what, 10:36. I know a lot of the kids at my school, they're exhausted, and that can mess with your mental health too. And also it'll mess with the way you interact with your dad. You might be a little short with him too, and then he just the back and forth of both of you being stressed. But I don't want you being sad. There are people to talk to, but it's up to you to reach out. So I'm glad you're here, but there's also people at school and your teachers. And if I don't make it, then I don't know. You will make it. And we have to change that mindset. Did something happen today, or are you just really worried about school tomorrow? Sometimes we have little panic attacks and we don't want to go through certain things. Are you really worried about tomorrow? I know it's a new school year and you missed about a week of school. Are people nice to you at school? They leave you alone, or they kind of bullies? No, I'm adopting you. You forgot. I'm adopting you. You're my baby girl. How's that? Got to check in with me every day. Kalibi says, Bruce, he is very mundane type, quiet and soft-spoken. I've done some research yesterday, and the amount of psychos and sociopaths in our society, 1% of the generation. Top are psychos, 4% Americans are sociopaths, 4%. And 5 to 15% Americans are almost sociopaths. That's different than the research that I've seen. The generation. And 5 to 15%. Yeah, I was watching this one thing too about dismissive avoidance, and they said it's like 25% of the society. 25%. They're like, so the chances are, 75% they're not dismissive avoidant. I definitely, I don't know. Yeah, so it would make sense to me. It makes sense that there would be more sociopaths because that's kind of like created over time. Psychopaths are born that way, but I wouldn't doubt it that it's high. And that's the thing; it's really hard to know what the accurate count is because a lot of people don't get analyzed, or we're also dealing with people who aren't truthful. It is a dangerous world out there. But the amount of narcs and sociopaths that I came across with, the numbers should be higher. And I think sometimes too, a lot of these things are trauma related. So my guess is it would be higher in urban areas, higher in, and this is the thing, like, this is just my thought process. There are differences in races, not because they're bad people when they're born, but because of the traumas. And it's not a fair society out there. So, who's popping in? Snake Eyes. Oh, hi there. Good to have you here, Snake Eyes. And Mimi says, it's not school. It's just family issues, and I'm tired of it. Are you an only child? And Daddy is here. I know you're tired of it, but don't ever give up on yourself. You could have a beautiful life. And you're a senior, right? Only 9 more months. Only 9 more months. You are now. Okay. Yeah. Mimi, please don't give up. You're a junior. Oh my goodness. Okay. And do you ever talk to your mom? Wait, did you say she passed away or they got divorced? I thought you said they got divorced. Do you ever talk to your mom? I'm scrolling up. Yeah, your mom left your dad. Do you ever see your mom? Okay. Maybe give a call to mom. When's the last time you saw your mom? Maybe you can ask her to, just a little extra love. She's in Alabama. Maybe you can tell her how you're feeling and say, Mom, is there any way you can come up for a weekend? Or can we plan on Christmas break? Even if you're Jewish, you know what I mean? The holiday break. No. Yeah. Do you have even one friend at school? She's a stranger to you. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard. And it's hard at your age too. Um, but I just want you to know that I really care about you. And, there's so many teenagers that are hurting. And, if you have one person, Mimi, this is important. If you have one person that cares and supports you, you can get through things. And I want to be that person for you. And, I want you to actively try to make yourself happier by, even if it's just the behavioral interventionist at school or something like that. If it happens, it happens. I'm sorry. I'm not accepting that. Nope. And if you mean that, you're not sorry. You are not sorry. You're giving up. And, when we say we're sorry, we change. But this is the thing. I get it. I get where you're coming from. Will you call 988? Will you call 988 right now? You are sorry though. But that's the thing, you're giving up. And you can't give up. There are ups and downs, and almost everybody that's tried that regrets and they're thankful that it didn't happen. And, things can go wrong. You can, damage yourself to the point that, so I would suggest you call 988. Will you do that for me? Because if you really mean that, then you need to call them right now. You don't know. You're worth it. If you're going to go to bed feeling about giving up, I'd like you to commit to at least messaging me every day, letting me know that you're okay. You do have people that care about you. Sometimes we don't see it. You're having a hard time talking to your dad, but that's the first step. And maybe sometimes too. Clebe says, and thank you for the chat, Cynthia. Appreciate it very much. Do take care of yourselves. Clebe, thank you. Have a good evening. And everyone, I'll be watching my PBS shows in 15 minutes. Thank you for joining, Clebe. There's more concentration of cycles in Washington, D.C., Maine, and California. And Snake Eye says, good evening from the United Kingdom. We got the UK here. Clebe, thank you for joining in. And so, yeah, we got some stuff going on with Mimi right now, and I'm pretty concerned about her. That, we had to be our own best friends. And, when people care about you, maybe that's a sign that, it's worth sticking around. And there are like good and bad times. There's different seasons in life to where not every day is going to be a good day. And it can be overwhelming, but, all the things that I have seen. I told you I won a trip to China. I never thought I would win that trip. Never even crossed my mind. And that was like one of the best memories of my life. And, you know, um, if you're spiritual, and you do that to yourself, that, you know, if you read the Bible, like that's not a good outcome. So we have to think, do we want to get caught up in this one moment, or do we want, eternal life? Do we want to learn the lessons that we're supposed to learn? Do we want to have faith? Having faith is extremely important, that things will get better. And sometimes we don't always see it. So Mike says, dig the glasses. Thank you. I love the pink. So John is here. So I'll tell you what, Mimi, it is 10:46 and you have school tomorrow. And I know you're having a really hard time, but what do you think about we all log off so you can go ahead and get some sleep? I'm in Michigan, Mike. Where are you from? So I just like Mimi have school tomorrow. I am a teacher. So Mimi, I'm going to tell you that I have love for you, and you're going to get through this. It's only 7. It's only 7. Where the heck are you? It's 10:47 where I am. Now I understand why, because I was always like, why is she up so late? Where are you? Only 7. California area? Okay. But I'm in Michigan. Now that makes sense. Oh, no, you're in Pittsburgh. It's not 7 in Pittsburgh. It's 10:47. It is 10:47 in Pittsburgh. It's 10:47 in Cleveland. Cleveland, Ohio. It's only 7. What do you mean? 7 a.m. You got to wake up. Oh, Pittsburgh, California? Oh, I didn't know there was a Pittsburgh, California. That makes sense then. Okay. I didn't know there was a Pittsburgh, California. Is that northern? I did not know that. That makes sense because I'm like, man, she is up late. She's got school, 7:47. Yes, I am single. All right. So this is what I want you to do, Mimi. I I think, that tonight I just want you to relax, maybe take a hot bath, and just kind of pamper yourself. Maybe do your nails or get ready for tomorrow. Pick out your outfit so in the morning you're all ready. And we got Randy joining us. Hi, Randy. I'm getting ready to log off. But 988, seriously, if you are going through that, it's a free call and they will help you. So you just took off your nails. Well, you can buff them out and just put polish on. I know. Yeah, sometimes redoing. I'm a licensed nail tech, but I don't do my nails like that. So, why is it that you can't call? If it gets to the point that you are about to give up that seriously, you make that call. Why can't you? I'd like you to talk to somebody. I just don't want to. I'm not comfortable. Okay. But don't give up. Then promise me you won't give up. And there are, and this is the thing, maybe you're not used to people caring about you. And that might be why it's uncomfortable, trusting somebody to help you. But I get it, And Mike, thank you very much for the compliment. I can't make a promise. Oh, Mimi. I know you're having a hard time. But I know, teenage years are really difficult. You're so close to becoming your own person and having control of your life, but then you're stuck. You feel like a grown woman in a way and still being controlled. But if we can shift the focus to being thankful for what we have, building upon it, and thank you, Mike. And thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. You can't. And when you say I can't do it, are you saying you don't have to make that call? But San Diego, California, nice to have you. So yeah, and that's the thing, Mimi. There's only so much I can do. You know, you can let. I don't want to be an adult, and you don't have to. That's what's so nice, is you got at least 2 more years, at least 2 more years at Dad's, and I get it. I don't want to be an adult either, you know, but there's good and bad to it. There's good and bad to it. Exactly. So I can do it. There you go. Mike says, message me so we can talk. What do you want to talk about? And we went live for 90 minutes. And unfortunately, I do got to get ready for school tomorrow. But Mimi, will you talk to me tomorrow? I will log in tomorrow night and check in on you. But exactly, so I can do it. Yep. I'm saying I can give up. I don't want to be an adult. No. Live like a kid your whole life. Just pay your bills. Yes, I am single. I'm saying, no, you can't give up. And you know, if you got 2 years to prepare to be an adult, okay? And this is what's nice, is you can learn about you know, how to apply for apartments, or what are the better jobs to get, or you know, there's things that you can learn. And I don't know if you have any pre-existing things like ADHD or autism or things like that. But no, there you go. And thank you for the follow. Thanks, Mike. So I get it. It's overwhelming, but we're going to get through this. You're going to change that attitude. You're going to be positive. You're going to do it for yourself. And if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for me, because I have a connection with you. And I'm not giving up on you. So don't give up on yourself. And what do you want to talk about, Mike? So Mimi, lots of love to you. And I hate having to log off now, but just know that I care. I care a lot. And, you know, if you keep tuning in here, you're going to have people interacting with you. At least you have a little safe space here and there that you'll have somebody to connect with. But I would really consider talking to the principal or your teachers. You'll text me. Perfect. All right. Sounds good to me. I would love that. Yeah, definitely do that. I'll help you through. All right, guys, lots of love to you. And sorry I got to log off, but I will see you tomorrow night. Have a good night. And Snake Eye, did you want to say anything before we go? I'm going to log off of TikTok and Facebook, but I will stick around to see. Snake Eyes has been so patient. Bye, guys. Good night. So let me know if there was something you wanted to talk about before I go, and you've been really patient. I know that girl's going through a lot of hard times right now, so definitely wanted to address that. But all right, guys. So I appreciate you logging in, and I'll be on tomorrow. Snake Eyes, good to have you here, though. All right. I hate logging off when people are still in here. Thanks so much, guys. All right. I'm going to end the stream, but thank you for joining, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.